All right, guys, this is Mr. H. I am doing the Delta Math assignment, simplify expressions with distribution. So basically, they've given us an expression. It has parentheses. They want us to simplify it. And basically, whenever they ask you to simplify it, it has parentheses. You should almost always get rid of the parentheses, combine your like terms, and then you should be done. All right, so let's try that. So I'm going to get my pen here. So this is going to be a -6 times a -10. So that's going to be a +6 dk. And then we got a -6 times a +3. So that's going to be a -18. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do 6 times a -8. So that's going to be a -48k. And then we got 6 times 4. That's going to be +24. Now, this is simpler. This is more simplified than this, but we want to get rid of these 4 terms and get it down to 2 terms. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to add these two together, 60 minus 48k. So let me get a different color. So we're going to subtract, we're going to put these two together. And that's going to be 60 minus 48, which is going to be 12. So that's 12k. And then we're going to do the same thing. This is a -18 plus 24. So that's going to be a +6. Now, so here's my answer right here. Now, one of the things I want you guys to start doing is whenever you do any kind of algebra or simplifying, you should check your work to make sure it's right. And I've showed you how to check your work, but I'm going to show you again using the calculator. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take, let me move this over a little bit and take this and move it down. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a number, store it in for K. I'm going to put $1.25. That's one of my favorite numbers. And I'm going to store that into K. So I press Control and then the variable key, and then I press K, press enter. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to key this in. So 12K plus 6, and I press enter. And I get 21. Now, all I need to do to make sure that's right is type in the original expression as it is, and it should be equal to 21. If it's not, that means that I've made a mistake. If it is, then that means I'm pretty certain that this is right. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put in a -6 parentheses a -10 k plus 3, close the parentheses, and then I got plus 6 parentheses a -8k plus 4. Close the parentheses, and it is 21. So I'm pretty certain that what I did there was good. So I can come here and, well, let me get my calculator back. I can come here and just type in 12k plus 6. And it says, okay, you did a good job. So now I'm going to do one more. So clear that. Go to my new problem. All right, so Stumbler, I got to get rid of the parentheses first, and then I have to combine like terms. So now this 7, this is actually a -7. And a lot of students, for some reason, don't see that. But a minus is the same thing as a plus negative. So this actually is a plus -7 and then parentheses. But the way I do it is I just take this minus goes with the 7. So this is going to be a -7 times 8. So this is going to be a -56. K. And then I'm going to do the same thing, a negative 7 times a positive 4, and that's going to be a negative 28. And then I also have this a negative 2K. So what I'm going to do is I am going to combine all of the K's, and I got a negative 2 minus 56. So that's going to be a negative 58K and minus 28. Now, again, before I submit this, I'm going to check it. So let me do that. So I've already got $1.25 stored for K. So I'm going to enter my answer, which was a negative 58K minus 28. And I get a negative $100.50. And then I'm going to key in the original, and I should get the same thing. Negative 2K minus 7 parentheses 8K plus 4 close parentheses, and they match. They match exactly, so I'm pretty sure that that's the answer. So I do a negative 58K minus 28, press enter. And that's right. Now, here's one of the things I want you to understand. The storing that I've showed you, it's always used to check work, check answers that you get. That's the only time that you use the variable on the calculator, is when you're trying to check your work to make sure it's right, make sure you haven't made a mistake, or you can take your answer and plug it back into an equation to check to make sure that the answer is correct. But whenever you use the store key, you're using it to check. You're using it to check. That's the only time you use the store key, is when you're trying to check something. I think that's enough. I think you guys have the idea, so I'm going to stop this and post it.